What's good, y'all? It's your favorite Empress. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ladanya, but over here they call me Empress Moxie. Today's video is going to be a part of my Pum Pum Talk series, which is where we're all about the elevation of women through self-care in the form of chick chats and pushing creativity. As you've seen by the title, today we're talking about getting in our bags. So enough chatting, let's get to it. Money is universally known as a resource that can allow us to bridge the gap between the things that we need and the attainment of them. We all want money and understand the function, but some of us lack proper financial literacy, which is going to allow us to properly leverage money. Financial literacy is a section of economics where it involves individuals being educated about money, whether it be its uses, its advantages and disadvantages. In our 20s, money is being introduced in a phase of our life where we're being more impulsive. At this time, a lot of us are not disciplined in our relationship with money. That's why today's video, I'm going to be covering the topic of money from the lens of our 20s as women. Even more specifically, I'm addressing money from the perspective of a woman, because it's arguable that we are the largest consumers and nowadays major breadwinners. So it's important for us as women to understand our relationship with money and approach it in a healthy way. Starting off strong, we're avoiding bad debt. Generally speaking, some of us have bad habits that keep us broke. A great example of this is thanks to social media. A lot of us are buying things that we do not need. And this is called overconsumption and mass consumerism, which is largely women. Great advice from the mouth of my mother about avoiding bad debt is to not buy something unless you can buy it twice. And this doesn't involve if you're purchasing a house or maybe a vehicle. That's not where this advice applies. This advice applies to things that we don't need, like maybe a purse, that little dress at H&M or wherever. Unless you can buy it twice, do not buy that thing. While we're on the topic of the things we don't need that push us towards bad debt, credit cards are pushed down our throats since the age of 18 or even 17 in the US specifically. Credit cards are one of the worst types of debt simply because of the high interest rates. They hook us at young ages in America by telling us, oh yeah, you can get any credit card because you won't be accumulating interest until a year later. And this is how they catch you. When you're an 18-year-old, you're somewhat impulsive and you're not thinking a year ahead. You're not as disciplined when it comes to money. So you're thinking, oh, okay, whatever. You're telling me this interest is gonna come up after a year, whatever, I don't care. I have $10,000 right now. That's all you care about as an 18-year-old, right? So you're gonna spend that $10,000 and forget that that interest rate is going to accrue every month after that year mark. So you continue to spend that money. You don't pay the credit card off, and then a year comes in. And once that year comes in, that interest is accruing monthly, and it's getting harder and harder to dig yourself out of that debt, because now it's no longer $10,000 that you owe them. You're gonna owe them a lot more than what you got in the beginning when you opened that credit card. So we want to avoid bad debt like high interest credit cards. Next is financial traumas and healing them. From childhood, our environment and our upbringing can impact the way that we see money as adults. And this can show up as a trauma. Examples of this include hoarding money, meaning you can have a hard time letting go of the money that you make for whatever reason, or even being an extreme cheapskate. Another example of financial trauma is going to be overspending. Some people, they can't stop spending money. They're putting themselves further into debt. Both ends of this coin are unhealthy. We have to find the healthy medium in between. Speaking of financial trauma, an example of my own financial trauma is the fact that I'm an immigrant. I was born and raised in Montego Bay, Jamaica, to young parents. And because my parents were younger, we did grow up financially poor. I like to say financially poor because I didn't even know I was poor until I moved to America. I didn't understand what poor was because we still had a roof over our heads and we still had an education. But now that I know more and I understand poverty, we were in poverty. A funny way that I found out I was poor, even after moving to the US, was during an interaction with this girl named Alizea. She went to the school that I went to for a few months when I first came to America. She asked me where my shirt was from, and I said, "Oh, it's from Goodwill." I kid you not, Alizea let out the loudest friggin' laugh, and I was so confused. I went home and my mom explained to me Goodwill is a thrift store. It's a store where people give their hand-me-downs or items that they don't need. So other people might mock me for shopping at Goodwill because it's not brand name. I liked my clothes. I didn't have an issue with that until somebody laughed at it and I had the understanding that, oh, that's a place that poor people shop. A way that my financial trauma has shown up is how careful I am about spending money, even to the point where you might call it hoarding. Because of my upbringing in Jamaica, where money was tight, and whenever money was tight in Jamaica, what I noticed was my parents would save even harder. They would not let go of money. They would spend less on certain things and stay in more. So that's something that I found myself duplicating in a toxic way. So my financial trauma was from a place of lack and fear. The way that I healed from my financial trauma was through education and application. And this is definitely what I would recommend to anyone else. Educate yourself about money, the ways to leverage it, the ways to spend it, and also the ways to actually respect it. If you're scared to let go of something, you might hurt it and you might make it not want to come back to you. And that's a frequency. When you're scared to let go of money, you're sending the message that you're in a place of lack. You're not used to money, and money will be scared to come to you. So nowadays, I'm not afraid of money. I'm not afraid of letting go of money because I know money is going to come back to me. I know money is going to flow to me because I have the resources to make money. I have the knowledge to make money, and I attract money just by being patient. Learn about your financial trauma, see where it shows up for you, and take your time to educate yourself about how to let go of that trauma, how to release yourself and heal from that trauma, and build a new relationship with money so that money can be comfortable around you, so that money can be comfortable coming to you. Now let's get productive with some new habits to try to get in our wealthy girl era and really attract the finances and abundance that we deserve. I'm gonna do this from the angle of a recent graduate who graduated with $11,000 in debt. That recent graduate is me. I graduated university December of 2022, and I did not start working my corporate job until August of 2023. That was last year. So I've been in my role for 8 months now. And paying down this $11,000 of debt is not supposed to take as long as I'm making it. But I decided to keep some of my money for a while. Like I was mentioning, my financial trauma, being careful about how I'm spending. That was still going on last year. So I actually started paying down this student loan debt the beginning of 2024. We are 4 months into 2024, and I have a balance of, I would say, $6,000 left to pay off of the student loan. But what I want to remind y'all is I also have accruing interest every month, and that interest is about $70. So what I do to tackle my debts so that I could pay it off quickly, given this example, is every paycheck I'm paying very aggressively. It might not be doable for everyone, but I do not want to be in debt to this country. I'm not waiting on Joe Biden. He just said he was gonna try again with the student loan forgiveness. You can miss me with that because I already waited on you and you did not deliver. Okay? So what I did, I break down each paycheck. Say for example, I'm paid $5,000 a month. I'm using $1,000 to $2,000 per month to pay on that $11,000 debt total. Debt repayment is super important to our journey to wealth as women, okay? If you have a student loan, if you have a car loan, if you have a credit card debt, make sure you're prioritizing paying it with every single paycheck that you have. It doesn't matter how much or how little. Prioritize that. High yield savings accounts. This is my favorite thing to talk about nowadays because y'all, I think I found one of the best high yield savings accounts, and that's going to be Marcus by Goldman Sachs. I signed up for this in January. They're still having this. It's a 5% interest on your savings account, which is pretty good. 5% interest is going to accumulate on that initial amount that you put in the savings account every single month, not just once a year. So your money will be growing every month that is in this high yield savings account. And you know, I'm not just gonna tell you about the high yield savings account without giving y'all a little treat. Be sure to use my link below to join Marcus by Goldman Sachs, and you'll get an extra 1% on your 5% interest for 3 months. They're currently running a promotion where you get 5% on your high yield savings account with a minimum balance requirement of $500 to start. This 5% promotion ends, I believe, April 15th. When that promotion ends, it'll go back to 4% interest, but the extra 1% that you would get on top of that 5% or 4%, depending on when you do sign up, it has no deadline. So you can get that extra 1% at any time when you're ready to sign up. No rush. High yield savings accounts can literally make a difference and provide you with more options to have fun and be fulfilled in your life, because we are just girls. I'm just a girl. I know this summer we want to have a great time. You want your money to grow or just sit? Use my link below. You will not be disappointed. High yield savings accounts can be used to save towards your house, a vacation, a birthday trip, any big expenses that you have, but they are an advantage because that money has interest going on it. It's important for us to make our money work for us. Another habit to try is going to be having at least 3 bank accounts. You're going to want to separate your money and give each account a job. You're giving your money a job in each account. So say your first account is going to be for bills and subscriptions alike. So that's your light bill, your car finance payment, your student loans, your credit card bill is going to be from that specific account. Next account is going to be your personal account. This account you can use for going to get your nails done, buy Chick-fil-A, whatever. You should always prioritize giving yourself money and paying yourself so that you're not overwhelmed, so that you don't feel like you don't have money and you're not seeing anything out of each paycheck. The next account is going to be for investing. This could be investing in your business, investing in stocks, trades, whatever it is you're interested in. Another habit to take on is going to be using cash as much as possible. The fact that the world has become so digitalized has impacted the way that we spend our money. We're prone to spending our money faster because we're not seeing it every time we swipe that card. So you have to be conscious and careful if you want to save money. Eliminate that, spend wisely, use cash a bit more. For example, if you say, you know what, I have $200 for groceries today, I'm just gonna go and get these items. Make a list of what you're gonna get and withdraw $200 from your bank account. That's gonna help you to have self-control and hold yourself accountable, because when that $200 is done, it's done, and that's all you're spending in that grocery store. Shopping mostly when there's a sale is gonna help you save loads. If you think you have to buy something last minute for that party, last minute for that trip, it's gonna cost you way more than it would have if you bought it way ahead of time, if you bought it during a sale. It doesn't help to buy things last minute or when you're in a rush because you're spending more than you would have. Also, eye shopping helps a lot. I'm somebody who is a professional eye shopper. I will go to any store. Something can be shiny, it could be pretty on me, it could make me look the best. I will leave that item if I don't want to buy it that day. Because I'm thinking, you know what? This is the price now, but there might be a sale coming up. And there is always a sale coming up. Always. And I will wait for that sale. I'm so patient. Every area of my life, I'm super patient, and that's why I win. That's why I get what I want, because I'm okay with waiting. Another thing is going to be avoid financing. I mentioned earlier that you should only buy something if you can buy it twice. And this applies to avoiding financing things. Only thing you should be financing is something that is a necessity, something that is needed. Like I mentioned, a house, maybe a car, and medical bills. And finally, on the list of habits is going to be planners. We might not consider planners when we're thinking about money. We might just think planners are for organizing your week or your academics. But planners come in handy when you want to organize your finance because it helps you to map out and have a clear idea of what you're going to do that week and exactly how much it may cost and how you want to budget it for that week, that day. Adding in a planner, this could be digital or physical, into your financial planning routine. My favorite planners are going to be the passion planners. So I have a physical planner. I prefer to feel my planner and write things down. This planner is really multifunctional because you can use it to plan your day, plan your week. You could break down ideas, and you can journal every single month to do a monthly reflection on how things have been going, things you want to grow in. This is the planner that I would recommend to the girls that are ready to grow and actually elevate and become their best selves. This is the planner. This is called the Passion Planner. I am a Passion Planner ambassador, by the way, so you know I have some goodies coming up for you. The planner is broken up very well. I highlight, I use different colors and things like that. You can make it super fun, and this way you could track your money, have a better idea of your money, where it's going and where it's coming from. Definitely recommend. If you want to get a planner that's multifunctional like mine, the Passion Planner, you can use my code Empress 999. 999 is an angel number, meaning to start over, get into new beginnings, and this is definitely the time. Get into your financial wellness journey. Really take this seriously if you want to get into your wealthy girl era. Okay, I got you. Use this video as your ultimate guide to really start on that journey. And as I mentioned, you can get the planners in the physical form like I have, or a digital form. And that was the ultimate guide to propel yourself out of debt so that you can get into your rich and wealthy girl era. I'm definitely going to be leaving y'all with homework. Don't forget, number 1, start a high yield savings account. Use my link in the description. Number 2, get yourselves a planner in the physical or digital form. This is going to help not only in your area of finance, but organizing the other areas of your life. Making and seeing change is all about organization and planning. Get into it. I'm also going to need you to read a bit more and get into podcasts about the money mindset, the mindset of accumulating wealth, getting rid of debt, and really staying focused as young girls and women. All right? And that is all your homework for now. See y'all in the next episode. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it in any way helpful, resourceful, or even entertaining. Bye!